Welcome to SlamCast, where we chat with creatives about their process and how they navigate the grind of promoting themselves. We're your hosts. I'm BREA.
And I'm Neil. We're both studio technicians and producers here at Slam Academy, a music production school based out of Northeast Minneapolis.
And today we are here with DJ Izzie P, a DJ who brings musical knowledge and strong technical skills to events and venues all over the Twin Cities. Welcome.
Let's give it up. Thank you. You've probably heard this before, but we're doing it here now. You piping crowd applaud too.
I love it.
For the crowd out there.
I love it.
I never even asked, is your first name actually Izzie?
It's Isabel.
Okay.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
Well, that's a dope name then.
Yeah.
I really like that. Do you go by Izzie P when you meet people, or do you go by
I go by
Elizabeth?
Izzy.
Oh, cool.
But it was kind of like, it just happened. I just needed to pick something, and then I always figured I could change it because it's like my actual name, but then I never did. So now that's what it is. So
Perfect.
I'm like,
It's
yeah.
swaggy
Nice.
as heck. It just sounds dang. Sounds
Yeah, I
very
like it.
DJ for sure.
Thank you.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for being with us.
Yeah,
we really
thanks for having
appreciate
me.
you for coming by. We haven't had an event DJ, like someone that's kind of more multi-genre like you on the podcast yet, except for Mickey. So I'm excited to talk about that with you.
Yeah, yeah. Hell
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
Yeah.
But Voice,
Voice, just always like take it back to the beginning of like how it started. I say like baby DJ Izzie P.
Yeah, I feel like I always liked music. Growing up, my parents were really into music, and always like there was just music happening at the house. And my dad he was in a band, he played instruments. So I kind of just grew up in it. And like when I was, the mix CD era, like I didn't even know that was kind of part of what being a DJ would be, but I always like loved making people mix CDs and like theming it around certain things and like stuff like that. So that's kind of like baby DJ Izzie P. But yeah, when I was in college, I'm kind of an introvert. I'm definitely an introvert actually. And I think I like being social. But it was a way for me to kind of like be in spaces and be a part of it, but like have something to do at the same time.
Yeah.
yes. Me too.
And
And like hidden around like the safety of being behind a big piece of
I'll dance
equipment.
with you over here.
I mean, I still am like that too. Like I'll like, if I have the choice, like if I'm on a stage, I'll turn all the lights off, be like, no, you can just leave me in like the dark. Like I like being here. I
be the
love
backdrop.
being here.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I
Exactly.
like being a little step removed.
Me too.
Yeah, so that's kind of how it started. And I didn't know anything about DJing. I didn't know anything about the technology, about the hardware, any of that. I would play on iTunes and like fade in and out of songs with the volume. And
Nice.
I moved back to Minnesota in 2017 or 2016, and I was working at HSRA Studio 4 in St. Paul, and I connected with someone there that was part of like a music collective, and they were curating this show that was like paired with like an art gallery. Anyways, they were looking for a DJ, and I was like, hell yeah, let's go. Yeah. And that was my first gig in Minnesota, so that's kind of how it started. And after that, I just kept doing it.
Dope.
Yeah.
With that first gig, were you just like on your laptop doing iTunes, going between?
At that point I had gotten like a little controller. I was playing with Serato at that point.
Okay,
I
cool.
spent a lot of time, like I feel like I just spent a lot of time like in my room, like playing around with it. That was my first time that I like got to go live, like with what I'd been working on. So
Well, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
yeah.
It was like an art gallery? Or an art
It was
show?
a house. It was in South Minneapolis. It was like a house. And I was trying to think of the name of it last night. And I cannot remember the name of it, but it was like people lived there, and then they would have these art installations, and then in the basement they would throw like a show with musicians and DJs and stuff. So
That sounds fun. Sounds
Yeah.
very South Minneapolis.
it was super fun. Yeah.
So how did you get involved in being involved in so many events around the Twin Cities? Did that just kind of spiral from the connections you've been making since you moved back to Minnesota?
Yeah, I think like I look back now and I kind of like laugh at myself because I think I just like really put myself out there a lot, especially in that first like year or two of being back here. And like, I would just take any opportunity, any gig. Like, and I lived at a house at the time and we threw a lot of parties there. And part of it, I mean, it was kind of self-interested. I like DJing parties in my own house. I always have. Like, I'm like, this is like the ideal.
The aux cord, but now I have just 2 tracks that can go between.
Yeah.
Just the master aux cord, to be honest.
Yeah. So I think like just doing that and then putting myself out there and just taking a bunch of random shit, then eventually led to getting booked at more like actual like venues. And with some parties, you know, there was like people that were kind of took a chance on me and like put me in some cool spaces. And
Nice.
from there, yeah, it just sort of like was a continuous networking. Like I also went to a lot of shows. I went to a lot of events. I always have like really liked that. I mean, I grew up in St. Paul, so like I was doing that as early as I could, going to like, you know, 7th Street Entry and all that type of stuff when I was younger too. So just being in the spaces that I wanted to be in and wanted to play in, then led to kind of connecting more with people. And, you know, I think it's a cool thing here. At least like at that time too, I think people, this was like pre-COVID and all of that. And I think it's different now too. But anyways, I think people like want to kind of like see other people succeed in
Especially
the same community. So
of course, putting you up and watching how you do.
Yeah.
When you're with the kind of DJ, what kind of music do you like DJ? Are you multi-genre, like per gig?
Yeah, definitely. And I feel like I always was. I didn't really know. Like, I think that sometimes open format can have like some people, depending on the genres, like not everybody looks highly on open format DJs.
It's the hardest kind of DJing. Everyone can just go to hell on that.
Yeah. But before I even heard the term like open format, that's just always something that really drew me to DJing was the ability to mix different genres of music and like take people kind of on a journey through like my sets that I would just do like in my room. I think now, you know, at this stage, I do cater to like clients and stuff like that. So I think it really depends. I feel very comfortable with most genres and most like kind of going into things. But I think like I do get booked a lot for like open format type gigs primarily.
So if we were to be like, hey, Izzie P, you get to pick the set. This is your event and your style. What would you be leaning into? Some artists and songs.
Great question.
That's a great question.
Because we can give you all the format, but it's like you get to pick. It's like, shoot.
Yeah.
Sometimes that's even a little harder, a little bit.
Yeah, and I think that's hard when people are like, "Well, what do you like?" And I'm like, "Oh man,
I like chill hop and dubstep." So it might not be what you like.
Yeah. I think like I tend to lean more to like chiller music, and I think that can be like, you know, R&B, new R&B, Afro beats, like kind of like house, but like a little mellower house, and old school stuff too, like just funk, like not, you know, as much like lower key funk, like just I'm kind of I try to be a pretty mellow person, you know? So I think like if I'm left to my own devices, that's kind of the mood that I curate more.
Yeah.
Like I've had people tell me like sometimes it's too like sad boy vibes. Like and I get that. I feel I'm like, yeah, that's
like,
probably
do you see the hat?
Yeah. So I think just a little more low key. Like and I love hip hop, like, you know, mixing that in and yeah, for sure.
I feel you on that. Like for me, if someone goes do your own set, it's either like 140 chill dubstep or chill hop, like Flamingosis, Googans, with any kind of vocal I can throw on top of it because stems are awesome. So.
Yes, I love stems. Yes,
it's
stems are great.
normally chill, and I like it because I can play it like at a brewery, at a coffee shop, or bang it on like a big stage too. It all sounds fun. So
yeah,
I feel you on that.
Yeah.
I'm a big proponent on chill music too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So you do a lot of sporting events too. Are you the official DJ for the Links?
I am not. There's the guy that does it. both Timberwolves and Lynx. He's been like the official DJ for like 20 years, like something like that.
Cool.
So I kind of like fill in with Lynx. Like I'm kind of like the next person. So I fill in if he's unavailable to do a game, and I do their warm-ups a lot too. Which I love doing the warm-ups. Like it's
what is that? What kind of like what does that entail as a DJ to like DJ an event like that?
I think I try to like pay attention to what the team responds to, because a lot of times it's before like Target Center opens. So it's like the arena is just the teams and the coaches and people setting up. So it's a lot of hip hop and like rod wave, like
Broadway.
rod wave.
Oh, okay. You're just playing Broadway tunes. You got Wicked up there.
No, absolutely not.
Like, whoa! I didn't know the Lynx got down to Wicked. They might, but
I have had some since the new movie came out. I've had that requested in like a couple clubs, and I'm like, I need to make an edit. That
I was gonna
works
say,
better with
yeah.
the-
I think you should, yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds like what a good DJ would do.
It's on my to-do list. I'm gonna do it.
That sounds fun.
Yeah.
See, we're already manifesting.
So when you get to DJ the actual games of sporting events, what is that process like compared to DJing at a club? Because there's pauses, there's breaks, there's timeouts, there's whatever.
It's really different. And I think, there's kind of like a formula to it, to a certain degree. Like, for example, with the way that like Wolves, like basketball, the way that works, and I've done games with like the Gopher women's basketball, with the Lynx, with the Timberwolves. It's fast. Like if you're playing during a timeout, you're playing like 90 seconds typically max. And so you want it to be high energy, engaging, like DJ, technical DJing, like scratching, do some like some STEM stuff, like get some mashups in there.
Cool.
But typically it's like 128 up, like up tempo, like
dancey. Or
keeping definitely
people moving so they're not bored.
Okay.
Yeah. And you want to like, one of the guys that I work for with twins, he always says like you want to reach ages like 8 to 80.
Yep.
Like you want to try to get everybody involved. So when I do like twins, like I'll do like wordplay sets or like genre themes, like, or stuff like that to like, but keep it so everybody, stuff that people are familiar with, like can sing along, and like, some like TikTok stuff for the kids, and like, just try to get everybody engaged. And
That's awesome. That's a good tip for like trying to even reach out to like any kind of event that's not like a dance show or something like that.
Like a wedding, or where there's all ages there.
Yeah, I'm a wedding DJ, and I've been doing that for 5 years, and that's you have to be able to look at a crowd of all of them and be like, okay, here's the perfect song.
Yep.
And
it's similar. Yeah, the tracks, like a lot of tracks that I do for like twins specifically, like I'll use I do some weddings, like I don't do a ton, but a lot of them I'll use similar tracks because it's like the stuff that most people will sing along to.
If you want my wedding crate, I'll give it to you. So
I'll take it.
Yeah, it's like it's like 4,000 songs. They'll be the shit. Just hit me up, for real. I got you, because I always want my friends to have the tools. You stem them out, freaking go crazy.
Hell yeah. Appreciate you.
Hey, I got you.
And you are with you had a tag in your bio of an event. What is it called? Generation Now Entertainment. You had it tagged in your bio. So do you work with those people a lot too?
That's the group that does the sports teams and stuff.
Oh, okay.
So
cool.
Nice.
yeah, and they have like, it's not just DJs. They have like hosts and musicians too, that kind of, it's like an entertainment company. The one that's been the DJ for the Wolves and the Lynx, he started like the company.
Cool.
And so they do like tons of events around the cities, corporate, weddings, sports, like a lot of stuff. So yeah, they are where I've done like my sporting events are through Gen Now.
Are you hired by them? Or is it like a collective?
You are hired by them, but the nice thing with them, like they don't have like you can do whatever else too. Yeah. So like when I was first starting out, there was like, I don't remember what it was, but a DJ company that like, I interviewed with, and they're like, okay, but you can only do our gigs. So that was what I liked about Gen Now, is like they're very like, they like that the people that work with them do a bunch of other stuff. So you have people like, you know, I don't know, DJs that have been around. D-Mill like does stuff with them. Ones like club DJs from downtown, like sports DJs. So it's like they very much still encourage you to like do your own thing, which is cool.
That's dope.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So so when you're putting together a set or putting together a set for a thing, do you have like a process till you go through? Like, let's say a client that has an event at maybe First Ave and they want you to DJ the doors or something. Well, like, how would you put together the set?
I definitely do have a process. I think like a lot of times I'm a pretty organized person too. So a lot of times if I know I have an event coming up like in the next couple months, especially like if it was like, you know, a show at First Ave and it's like for a company or something, like I'll start adding stuff to a crate, like just as I see it. Like I spend a good amount of time like downloading music, listening to new music, and then I just have it all like my new music in one crate, and then I like as I listen to it more thoroughly and I go through, I'll add it to like have other ideas. I'll add it to those crates. And then as it gets closer, something that I did not used to do, but I do now is like, I'll kind of put it more into like a set ahead of time. Like I feel like when I first started DJing, I would just have like my crates and just be like, let's let the chips fall where they may, like, you know what I mean? Like, and for like, you know, for club gigs, I still do that to a certain degree, like 4 or 5 hours of playing, like you're not, it's just, you can't plan that out. But if it's like a door set, if I'm doing like an hour set, especially something where I want to like showcase more, some like maybe incorporate some new music or some music that's new to me, maybe like
some cool mixes you might have found along the way too.
I'll put it into like a set, and you know, I try to generally like with those type of things like mix and key and do things so just kind of like make it tight and smooth. And so yeah, with those type of events, I definitely do some more prep.
Well, that's cool. I think like months ahead, you're just grabbing stuff to think about. That's a good tip right there too. Yeah, it's like keeping your crates fresh as a DJ.
Yeah.
Because I didn't look for music for a couple of years, and my you just get bored of your own stuff.
Yeah,
you can only play all your own stuff for so long.
Yeah, it's like really, yes, it works good for the gigs, but it's also for me for exactly that. Yeah. Like when I'm doing the same thing all the time, like I don't want to listen to that song again. Yeah. Like, you know what I mean? I'm like, it works here, great, but I don't want to hear it anymore. No.
That's how I feel about wedding DJing. I did it for a summer because Neil was like, hey, this would be a really good like learning moment if you're trying to get into music production and stuff. And I was like, okay, sure. So I did it, and it was a really good opportunity. But just the music, bro. Cotton Eye Joe and Sweet Caroline, like I can't do it. But also, like, I wasn't that experienced of a DJ, so I was just like playing the tracks. I wasn't like making cool flips and transitions and stuff like that. So
that's a lot of that's a lot of wedding DJs though. Like, I feel like
people want. I think.
Yeah,
they're used to it.
The best wedding DJ at the company, he doesn't know how to. He knows how to now. He does a lot better. But he is as a wedding DJ. Your job is to be a sound selector. Your job is, and if you have the crowd on your side and you're doing a good job, you might throw some tricks in there.
Yeah,
I only do that when they're on my side though. But if you're a good DJ, they'll get there eventually. But
yeah.
One thing I do say about DJing with wedding DJ, I think wedding and maybe event DJing, you could probably attest this, is especially with so many broad people, I think it's so much harder because like when you're at a dance show and you play the wrong song, Trainwreck, you can just throw on a really cool dance song, everyone gets back in. You play one wrong song, you can watch 150 people walk away.
Yeah,
and it might be the right genre, the right artist, and the right song, and everyone didn't like it. You know, it's very humbling. It's very humbling.
Yeah.
And so I don't think that's one thing that I learned a lot is like once you have that happen, you're like, all right, how do I get everybody back, and you just learn to rebuild the dance floor. And once you've done that enough, you don't lose them as quick. But if
you have your like songs that you know for sure will get people back, like I just try to hit quick, go into one of those.
Exactly. Oh no hands. All right, right there. That'll get everyone back. No hands. Buy you a drink. All right, get back in there.
Yeah.
So what is so if you have what is one or two songs you use if you like nuke a floor on accident?
If it's like a wedding, Dancing Queen always works.
What if you already
bring
used
people
it?
back? I want to dance with somebody.
Oh dang! What if you already used that?
Depending on the crowd, some Prince. If it's in Minnesota, a lot of
Oh,
people.
yeah.
I feel like I get a lot of Prince on request lists for weddings.
Kiss is my favorite.
Yeah, that's a good one. Like 1999. You know, people like that shit.
Hell yeah.
But
See, those are good. Those are good songs. I usually watch those at the beginning of the set, so I was like just seeing if there's any like for because I'm like Joe already played Dancing Queen like an hour ago. Oh no.
Maybe
Crazy in Love by Beyonce for weddings. That's a good one.
That is a really good one. Nice. I never pull that one out actually. I think Beyonce's too fast for me sometimes. I don't know.
That's like 96 BPM. You can definitely hit that one in there with some other like.
No, and one thing I've come to find is like as I'm DJing like old like 90s music and pop music is that I always want it just a little faster.
Yeah.
So I'll be like the Spice Girls. I'll be like, oh, I was gonna kick that up like 5 BPM. I feel like we're not moving fast enough right now, and they don't notice it, but I notice. But I want to dance a little bit more. But yeah, old music felt like it was just they need to be pushed forward a little bit.
Yeah.
To catch up with the attention spans that our brain is
Yes.
That's
like
so
speeding
real.
up, maybe.
That is so real. I've noticed that just in the time I've been DJing, like people are really they want the next one. The next
Yeah.
one. Like
Yeah, you get like you get a verse and a chorus and a verse and a chorus. You better be getting ready to get out. That's what I loved about stems so freaking much is all those old rap songs had like 4 minutes verse choruses forever, and there's not a good mix out points.
Yep.
Bye vocals. Make a loop. Let's get the next track in here. My mixing has been so much funner since that because it's like those 90s rap songs just took forever to get out, or like just had to be interesting or find a way to get out.
yeah.
But yeah, no, stems are the best.
Yeah. Especially those throwback stuff, like the clubs, you know, early people that are in their early 20s, like they want the chorus and that's it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like,
It's like,
Yeah.
what is this verse doing in here?
yeah, like
I'm even thinking of me in my car alone, just like on Spotify, like next, I'm ready, like I'm done.
Yeah.
I've heard enough. With
I've always been
something
like
new.
that. Like
Me
I
too,
feel
yeah.
like even growing up, like people would hate to be in the car with me because I'd be like skipping every song. Like
As a DJ, when you're looking for music, you're like, where's the drop? Or where's the best part? Is this good?
Yeah.
Okay, now we'll throw it in the crate.
if I'm like quick trying to get a sense of new music, I just go right to the middle of the song.
Yep, exactly. Right
20
with all the
seconds,
energy is.
okay, I know generally where I can put this one.
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly. Well, then, yeah, that's the mark of a good DJ. Being able to be like, yeah, if this is good enough, send it through.
yeah.
Yeah, you gotta appeal to the mass with the low attention span. I feel like it's a popular thing.
Yeah,
So.
for sure. Which I don't mind. I mean, it's fun to quick DJ, you know, it keeps me more engaged too. I mean, there's
Yeah.
songs that I feel like everybody wants to hear the whole thing of, but not a lot these days.
Even as like a songwriting like standpoint, I was talking with somebody yesterday and they were like, oh, so and so dropped a new album today, but it's only 50 minutes, every song is like 2 minutes long, and I was like, that's just how it is. Like,
Yep.
you want more streams, then you cut the song in half.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
people then will listen to it more.
Yep,
I don't know.
absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Sign of the times.
Yeah.
It is. Like some people's favorite musicians drop an album, they don't even hear the whole thing and get bored of it. So
Yeah.
got to be more strategic.
I want to kind of switch to like the promotional side of everything too, because social media is a huge part of a musician's lifestyle, unfortunately. But how do you handle Instagram and like social media? Do you post on TikTok? Do you have somebody that helps you with it?
I should have somebody that helps me with it. Like that's probably I've talked about like this with, you know, other DJs and stuff. Like it's probably like one of my weakest places as a DJ is promotion, specifically social media. I am a millennial. Like I grew up, I didn't have social media when I was like, you know, growing up.
Yeah.
I'm not that old, but
Yeah.
like,
How
you know
old
what
are
I
you?
mean?
Can I ask?
I'm 31.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm 36, so.
So like, yeah, you know, like
feel
it's
you.
like
Yeah.
I didn't have Instagram
Yeah.
till I was probably like, I don't know, 21 or 22. Like, so
Oh, nice.
I think just building, like figuring out how to build that, like as already like an adult.
Sucks.
Yeah, it's hard.
Yeah, because I watch people just post well, and I'm like, you don't even
Yeah.
have, you're just a person, and I have to do it, and I can't. Get
Yeah.
the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel you.
And I
Yeah.
just am like, you know, I just don't have a lot of patience for it. I think like I'm not a super big, it feels uncomfortable to me. It feels like awkward to me, like to do the like self promotion in that way. And so I think sometimes I just don't. And I'll try. Like I'll have like little phases that I'll go through where like, I mean, I did more like kind of during COVID and stuff. Like I would record myself, like especially when I was getting like more into the technical aspects of like scratching and those things. Like I would post some videos and like I got a good like reception on it, but then it's just like it just was such a process. And I also like I just work a lot and I feel like it's not like as much of a priority to me as it probably should be. Like the group that I work with to do sports, like they want you when you go to events, like, you know, take a video, put it, tag us, tag everybody. And I feel like I've been meaning to do this forever, to like put a sticker or something on my laptop to remind me to do it, because it doesn't occur to me.
Not a part of your thing. And
until it's part of the routine, it's just so easy to just
it's like I could make free material for myself if I just remember to throw my camera for 2 seconds. Look at this full dance floor.
And I never do.
Then you get home and you're like, fuck.
I've been trying to promote my wedding DJ company with my buddy, and after each of the weddings, we're like, how many pictures did we get? We meant to get some pictures for our fucking website. None. It's because we're not. I didn't grow in that generation. I'm becoming a videographer. I still forget to turn the thing on. Especially if you're DJing.
And like you do it for a full-time job, so like these gigs are already kind of coming to you, so it might not feel like a necessity to try to like put yourself out there to get more gigs because you're already getting the gigs. I don't know. That's me just
I mean, I think like here, that's the one thing, like here, maybe not like in Minnesota, but I think it does. Like I've traveled a little bit for DJing, but I would love to travel more. And I think that's a place where it does. Like, you know, if people don't know you, they're not familiar with you, like they want to see examples of what you do, like and I think that's something that I'm always like, damn, I really should do that more.
Just bring a friend along next time, be like, you're in charge of the video camera.
I should. I've like told people, I'm like, can you take a video for me? But like I'm also like, it's just again, it's just awkward. And like I feel like that was one thing when the first time I did like a Wolves game, like the other DJ, he was like, okay, like work on your on-camera like presence a little bit, because you know, like when they put you on the jumbotron, like you want to look excited, you want to look like here you go, and like for me,
you're like scared.
And like that's me most of the time. Like they'll tell me in my earpiece, they'll be like, Izzie, you're on camera, and I'll be like, you know, do they like rock on? And then I'm like right back to it. Like it's just it's I've worked on it. I've worked on it. I'm okay, like
that's funny. You have to turn it on. You're like, shit.
So you have an earpiece when you're playing at sporting events? Oh, okay.
Typically. So for Wolves links, it's like a one-way, like I can't talk back to them. It's just in my ear so they can cue me.
Gotcha.
For Twins, it's like a full thing. I can talk back. For Gopher stuff, it's like I can talk back to them too.
Cool. That's awesome.
I have that on one ear, my headphones on the other one.
Nice.
Dope. There's a lot of tech there. Do you work on, wait, so what rig do you use when you go to shows?
So my like travel gear, I have a Rev 7.
Okay, cool.
I like that one because it has the movable platters. I started like my favorite still to play is like Tech 12s. And
they feel amazing.
So I when the Rev 7 came out, I was like, okay, I'm gonna get that.
That's awesome.
And I've been using that since since it came out.
Do you think it feels good and everything too? As like a DJ, I like to ask people how they feel about the turnable platters and stuff. So.
I love it. I honestly love it.
That's awesome.
It's I have played on the Rain one, and I like it better. I'm more of a pioneer person in history, so I like it better. I also like when I was playing. I mean, when I was playing in the Techs too, and like transporting those with me, I had the S9 mixer, and in the Rev 7, it's like basically an S9 mixer, like built in. So it was just a really easy like
transition.
And
it's probably a lot easier than carrying like the techs, at least to those gigs. Maybe for like your own, I want to look cool DJ Izzie P gig, you bring the techs.
I'll still do it. Like if somebody, and I don't as much. I used to like bring it for weddings because people like the aesthetic of it. But I feel like now it's just like it's so much easier to just carry one
big rev,
and it's still heavy. You know what I mean? But at least it's only one. Like
exactly.
instead of like 3.
Exactly. No, like one of these cases is heavy as X. You know. No, I've carried. Right. These have movable platters. We haven't taken these to the gigs yet, but they're heavy.
You do DJing for a full-time career, a job. How long did it take to get to that position? And what were you doing before for like income and stuff?
So when I first started doing gigs, I was working. I had a 1-year position. It was like a fellowship position at the music school in St. Paul.
Okay.
So I did, and it kind of went through the summer. I didn't have like a ton of stuff, but I was still like getting paid and to mostly work from home at that time. So over that summer, I started doing a lot more gigs. And when it came kind of end of the summer, I was like, I don't want to get another job that I'm like super committed to, because I feel like I might be able to like do this like DJ thing.
Yeah.
So then I ended up working at Urban Outfitters in Uptown.
Nice.
And I was in New York briefly before I moved back to Minnesota, and I worked at an Urban Outfitters in New York. So it was like an easy
Nice.
Oh, cool.
thing.
Yeah.
I was already like trained in. So then I worked there. Oh, I don't know how long. It was like I started in the end of 2017 there, and then I ended up doing like bless you. I ended up doing like more of a management thing. I was in charge of like processing the product and the style trends and stuff. So I probably was there like, it was definitely pre-COVID that I quit.
That was like 3 years.
But yeah, it was like, and so I kind of like, and I told, I was pretty upfront with them, like, I'm trying to do this DJ thing.
Yeah.
And, it allowed me, like, not to say that I wasn't invested in it, but it's, you know what I mean? It's just like, it was very much a job where it was like when the day was done, it could be just
yeah.
done, and like
I
I
love
could,
that.
I could
why I love
give
serving.
my advance
Yeah.
for exactly.
I just want to get, when I walk out of here, I don't want to think about this place till
Yep.
tomorrow. Yeah.
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 And they were like, if I gave them enough notice, like if it was like, okay, I need this day off for a gig, like they would be pretty cool with it. So
Yeah.
That's good to have a job like that till
yeah.
you can start doing your thing.
yeah.
That's the
And I
kind of
met
jobs-
people, I'm still friends with people that I work with there. So I was like,
Hell yeah.
it went
Nice.
well. And I like did some DJ gigs with Urban Outfitters. So
Oh, cool.
it kind of was like
like a starting where it all
crossover.
started, or
Yeah.
like, yeah.
yeah. And so then I think, I was probably there for like 2, and I think I must have quit in 2018 or 2019 probably.
Cool.
Probably early 2019.
Nice.
Sounds about right.
So now,
It
you've
was
been
spring.
DJing professionally for like 5 years now?
Yes.
Cool.
During COVID, I did have another job that was like basically like political canvassing. That because obviously I couldn't DJ. I tried for like
Yeah.
did a few of like the virtual gigs, and it just like wasn't super for me. Like I think
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not this fun.
some people are really good at it and like super thrive in that environment. I think for me, it's just I don't want to just like stare at myself on the screen, like, and it's
To
like
look
I'm
at
not getting any
words.
cues from the
Yeah.
audience. Like it just wasn't like it just didn't vibe with like me super well. So I had like a work from home job at that time, and then
Nice.
yeah, I don't know. It was kind of a weird time, as we all know.
I was like,
so-
it was weird. Fun story. That I DJ'd the entire COVID from like, cause I was a wedding DJ and they didn't stop. So like, I literally like people were like, I haven't seen people in months. I'm like, I was in front of 150 people in Wisconsin with no masks.
yeah,
Like half of them, it was wild. I'm like, I had a gig every weekend. After like once in June it popped off, and they're kind of like, all right, we're fine.
damn,
It was wild to me. I'm like, what
Yeah.
the fuck is going? But I needed
dude.
money.
Yeah,
So yeah, it's like I had a rare instance in COVID where I was actually DJing the whole time.
like the most you've ever DJed. was
Right? No,
going-
I DJed. So I still DJ the same amount now because it's like I work for a company and it's from May to October. I do a wedding every Saturday. So
Oh wow.
yeah, so it's pretty consistent, which it's taught me to be a very good event DJ. Like I can look at a lot of people and be like, I can get people having fun. You know?
And
Oh,
the
yeah.
coordination too that happens in a wedding when talking to like the photographers and the best man, or whatever,
Doing all the stuff.
introducing people.
Yeah.
It's super good practice. And just in case the next pandemic comes around, become a wedding DJ now so you can be employed.
We're gonna give you that check again. I promise.
And you've been throwing your own events too. You threw a Valentine's Day event.
I did,
see?
yeah. I don't throw a lot of my own events. I
Okay.
feel like I've dabbled in it over the years.
Dabble.
But it kind of goes along with the social media thing. I'm not a super good promoter, and I think like I really know that about myself at this point. And you know, like it's also hard to make money at your own events. Well,
Yeah.
for me, I can't speak for everybody else, but I feel like when I've tried to do it and had different stuff that's like based on like, you know, how much you're able to promote, how many people you're able to bring in, like, you know, like I said, I'm an introvert. Like I'm kind of shy. Like I sort of keep to myself in some ways, and so it's harder. Like there's people that I, you know, other DJs that I know that are like super good at throwing their own events and have like a knack for it, and like I, you know, I love DJing, but it's not super like natural to me to do that. So like what I'm trying to do with what I did with the Valentine's event and with at Hook and Ladder, they have like this new space. They have like this cannabis lounge in the back.
Zen Lounge.
Yeah, Zen Lounge. Yeah. And
keep going. Sorry.
No, go ahead.
I know I DJ a comedy show at the Hook and Ladder, hosted by Zen. Yeah.
It's a really nice space, and it's just
love
like
that
so
spot.
chill.
Yeah.
Like, and so that's kind of my like what I'm like, I don't know. I'm not trying to do as much of like maybe try to do dance parties, but try to have something that's more of like a experience, like a place for people to come. Like with the Valentine's one, I had like a tattoo artist and somebody who was doing like astrology readings and like a craft table. And then like my set list was like pretty like mellow, you know, like just kind of doing something a little different. And I have another one coming up with them in April that hasn't like officially been announced yet, but that's kind of like more my vision with that.
Nice.
And
I love that.
I feel like I might be better at that.
Yeah,
doing that kind of
I think
thing.
that's funner too. Like curated shows, I think are way funner than dance. Like I think that's really fun.
Yeah.
And like the art element to everything too, in the astrology reading.
Yeah.
I think that's like, it's a super chill night that people who I tend to lead more towards the introverted side too. I don't necessarily like want to go out and listen to like house music. Like I can do that when I'm like feeling really good at home and I can like dance by myself. Like I like that. But then when I'm out, like sometimes I just like chill. Like the loud music is so loud sometimes. It's too loud.
Yeah.
Throw Mario Kart in the mix. That'd be so fun.
That's
Just have a projector with Mario Kart as everyone's vibing, you know?
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah, I think that just is what, you know, a lot of, especially like, you know, I'm a little older than like your classic like bar crowd that I used to be more of a part of, and like I think
We're old.
you know we're tired.
Yeah, dude.
We'd rather go and hang out at an event with music.
I want
like
somewhere I
in
can
the
sit.
back. Yep.
And like talk to somebody.
Relax.
Yeah.
No. So there's one event like and there's like even like just doing cool different hosted kind of events. Like I'm doing a mushroom event where
Really?
what? Yeah.
What?
Yeah, I've DJ'd. I'm actually getting. That's like the only time of someone's paying for me to travel. Actually, is I have a friend who's hosts this mushroom themed comedy show, and so he brings that around and has a DJ, and I get to be on stage and like hit him with stingers and like fuck with them and
That's
stuff.
fun.
So it's like one of those like where you can take DJing and create this other cool event with music than just like dance party guy right there. All right, we're gonna, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I just love. I was just saying, I just loved your idea of making curated events instead of like, you know, just a DJ and we're all standing around dancing, you know?
Yeah. And like the people that, you know, I talked to at that Valentine's event, like that was like what kept getting said was like, oh, this is like so needed, or like this is so chill, this is so nice, you know? So I think like more, it's easy. Like sometimes, I mean, I don't know, I DJ at some clubs and bars like in, you know, downtown and North Loop, and I think like it's easy seeing those crowds to be like, you know, this is what people want, but it's like, nah, there's like a whole
Those are kids.
spectrum of like people that like, you know, I might connect more with like that energy, and so I'm trying to put something like that out there.
That's awesome.
Seems like you're finding your own niche. And like
I'm doing my best.
Yeah.
Constantly reevaluating, you know.
Right.
yeah, as you do as an artist.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, it's been super cool to like get to chat with you and get to know you a little bit more, and it's really fun to get to know the ins and the outs of the Twin Cities community, because I just went to a Timberwolves game for the first time a couple weeks ago, and I was like, Dude, the music here is actually cool, and like there's so much going on, and there's a lot of planning and prep to all of this. Like I had no idea that was even like a big thing. But I mean, I'm not a huge sports person, so like super shut out from like that part of the world. So it's cool to like get into these little communities of people who are doing different things that I don't usually be a part of.
Yeah.
But yeah,
that's been an awesome thing for me being a part of like sports too, and like doing this stuff through Gen Now is like I was a soccer player growing up, but like professional sports of that level, like I didn't have a ton of exposure to, like, and yeah, it's a different world, and there's so much that goes into it. And like, I don't know, now I like watch a lot of the Wolves games, like even if, when I'm not working. It's like, because I'm like, this is cool. Yeah.
Dope.
Yeah.
And
so do
like,
they get to put in like song requests and stuff?
Yeah, they do.
Nice.
Cool.
Yeah. I haven't done as much. You lost your skin.
That thing falls off all the time anyways.
No, yeah, I mean, I haven't done any of the warm-ups with the guys this season, but they definitely have like kind of preferences and stuff. And like there's ways you can like I work with Minnesota Aurora, the women's soccer team too, and like they'll, I'll like be like, can you grab a list of requests from the players and just to, because like I really like to do that, because I'm like, I want to play to what they want. Especially when it's like warm-ups, it's like it's for you.
Yeah, exactly. And it'll help you even with that list, then you can like create play other tunes and artists and stuff around the list from them, keeping it very that's awesome.
Yeah.
That's like, what's it called? It's like the wedding DJ, when I can tell a lot about a client with like their must plays. They give me a list of must plays. I'm like, I know what I will be able to do here. I know how fun it is going to be for me.
Yep.
If there's so much of a certain genre, I might not have as much fun, but I will have fun.
Yeah. I do that. I do like at least 20 that you want to hear for sure. And then I also do not plays.
Yeah.
And I do not plays if people you don't want requesting stuff too, if there's specific people. And I've had people be like, don't let this person request anything. I'm like, okay.
Like he just becomes a not play. And Sue not play.
Yeah.
Or was it someone on the Timberwolves? Kevin Garnett not play. I don't think he's on the Timberwolves anymore.
No. It's been a minute.
Wait,
it's been a minute.
Timberwolves player's name?
I think like the best one that was like 20 years ago or something. As you can tell, I don't sport ball. I'm a skateboarder. I can do a kickflip. But yeah, no, that's cool. That's super cool that there's like, that there's homies out there like you that are like really curating some sounds for them. That's awesome.
Yeah. It's fun. I mean, any new experience, I always just am like, if I've never done it before, like, let's go, let's try it. Because I feel like it just pushes me as like a DJ, pushes me as a artist. So I always try to, I don't say yes to everything like I used to when I first started doing stuff, but I definitely still try to like take on new experiences and challenges and shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a really good mindset to have.
Yeah.
We're kind of nearing the end of the podcast here, but before we go, we always like to ask the guests for any advice that you would have for like a creative that's watching this through the slam community and like their journey as an artist.
We're all learning.
Yeah.
I would say stay true to yourself for sure. And pay attention to how certain type of gigs make you feel. And, make sure you're balancing the type of stuff you're doing with the stuff that like fills your soul. Because not every gig is going to do that. And like, especially if you're like for me, I'm a full-time DJ. I'm making a living off of this. Like I do a ton of stuff that like I wouldn't maybe pick to do.
Yeah.
But make sure you're balancing that out with the stuff that like you do love and does make you feel good. Even if it's not going to make you money, like truly. And I think that's super important. So it doesn't just, I've had times where I'm like, this feels like a job, and like, it is a job, but I like when it doesn't always feel like a job. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I think, that would be a big piece. And also just like, make friends and network with people, but also just have a strong sense of yourself too, because I think there's, you know, not everyone always has maybe your best interest or knows you, or, you know, people are just people. People are fallible. Like, it's like, you know, just stay true to yourself, and keep your I'm trying to say, don't put this part in, but just like be guarded without being too guarded. You know, like that's kind of what it is. Like, don't be closed off, but just be cautious.
There you go.
But I don't mean it in an ominous way. Like, I'm not like, it's really bad out there. You know what I mean? Like, I'm
just
like,
always be cautious.
But it's like, just, you know,
cautious of yourself and what you like to do.
Yeah. And take care of yourself in that too. Like, you know, like there's always going to be some other night that you can be out until 8 o'clock in the morning. It doesn't have to be every night when you're like a baby DJ. You know what I mean? Like, it's easy to feel like this is also fleeting. Like, this is, I got to be so in this because I'm here right now. And like, you know,
I'll never get another gig.
Yeah.
And then you'll get another gig. As long as you work hard for it.
Or like, you know, I never will get to talk to this person again, or I got to be here to meet with, and it's like, you know, what's meant to happen. Truly, I believe what's meant to happen is meant to happen, and you kind of guide yourself on that path. Don't overextend yourself, and stay safe.
Perfect.
I think that's perfectly well said.
That was good advice.
Yeah.
Dope. Well, that was a really fun sitting down and getting to talk with you. Thank you for hanging out with us and stuff.
Yeah, thanks for having me. Appreciate you.
Of course.
You.
Hopefully, maybe we'll see you at Slam when you decide to learn to become a producer with us.
Yeah.
We'll see. Whoever knows, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, dude.
But yeah.
Cool. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
Bye, SlamCast.
Bye, SlamCast.
Boy.
Thanks for watching SlamCast. Wasn't that a fun episode?
Want to become a member at Slam Academy? Go to slamacademy.com for more information.
Thanks for watching. Bye.